the Reverend High Priest Tony Guerrero joins us on the telephone. He is from LaurieCabot.com. He teaches about psychic readings. He teaches the Cabot School of Witchcraft. He himself is a high priest. He is a witch. And we're going to have a little chat right now to see what he believes and why. Tony, thanks very much for being with us. Appreciate it very much.
No problem.
Sir, you are a witch. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Witchcraft is my way of life and my spiritual path. I've been studying the craft for almost 20 years now. I've studied with Laurie for a good 15 of those years. And what our way of life is about celebrating the ancient ways. It's about living from the earth. It's about turning what we call the wheel of the year. To a lot of people, it's Halloween today is just like it's another day, but we don't even celebrate Halloween. What we're celebrating today is called Samhain. And Samhain is an ancient Gaelic word which actually means summer's end. And on the Celtic calendar, it would be the month of November. So what we're actually celebrating today is New Year's Eve. November 1st is the first day of the Celtic New Year.
And how do you celebrate it, Tony? What do you do?
How do I celebrate it? Well, just like everybody else would celebrate it, it's a time when we reflect back on the past year, the successes and failures that we've had, but more importantly, we make projections for the new year. New Year's resolutions. So rather than dressing up like a ghost or a goblin, I would dress up in my finest clothes and project that I have
it's a New Year's celebration. Now, yesterday, Tony, we heard about somebody who was into Satanism. That's different than the witchcraft / Wicca that you're into, correct?
It has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with witchcraft. We don't have a Satan in our deity structure. Satan is a Christian concept, and it's something that we don't believe in.
Okay, who is your deity?
We have many deities. We have both a god and a goddess in our deity structure.
Who are they?
There are many of them. It all depends. It all depends what you would be projecting for, or what you're going for, asking for.
So there's different gods or goddesses that take care of different areas of life. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. The goddess creates life to help. The god helps to create life. The god helps to create life. The goddess brings life into the earth.
Okay. And can you give us a sample of some of the names of these gods and goddesses?
Okay. Well, the gods, we have Hearn, we have Cernunnos, we have the Dagda. There are many, and it all depends on the different areas or cultures that they come from.
All right, and Tony,
the Greek gods, you've heard of Apollo, you've heard of Zeus. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, these are all just different cultures. The different areas have different gods and goddesses that they believe in.
Okay, now I'm fascinated. I want to ask you. So, let's say that I'm Greek and I was living 3,000 years ago, I might call the god Apollo. What would I call that god today if I wasn't in that? Could I call that god by another name?
You'd still call him Apollo.
Okay. So there are many gods out there?
Well, there are many aspects of the same gods. Correct.
Okay. So can I call God any name that I want to and still get to that God, the true God?
I don't know.
Okay. So it's many aspects of the same God. So it's monotheistic?
No, it's actually a duality, a god and a goddess.
Okay. So there's a god and a goddess, and who is that?
And who is that?
Yes.
It's the mother goddess, the earth, the sun, the moon.
It's creation.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. But I'm just trying to understand, but there's different facets of creation that are lesser gods or cultural gods?
I don't know how I'd... That's a kind of a trick question to answer. No, they're not a lesser god. They're just a different aspect of the god.
A different aspect of the god. Okay. And so is my goal... You mentioned earlier that Wicca or witchcraft is your spiritual path.
That's
Where's
correct.
your path headed?
Where is my path headed?
Uh-huh.
To be enlightened, part of the divine.
So when you die, do you become part of the divine?
No, I believe I come back in the next life.
So you believe in reincarnation?
I most certainly do.
How do you become a part of the divine?
Most religions do believe in reincarnation. They just look at it from a different aspect.
Actually, the major world religions all believe in some sort of immediate afterlife.
Immediate afterlife?
Sure, Christianity, Islam. Okay, Buddhism and Hinduism, you're right. They're reincarnation.
Right.
Yeah, the monotheistic religions, they believe in an afterlife. So the majority of folks in the world believe in a heaven or hell type of concept.
Okay, well, we don't have a heaven and hell concept.
Okay. And let's say that if I died, Tony.
Okay.
High Priest Tony, is that what you like?
No. Tony is fine.
Tony is fine. If I die, what's going to happen to me, in your opinion?
You're going to become one with the earth.
My physical body. What about my soul?
Your soul is part of the energy that's all around us every day.
Okay. And so what happens to it? Do I come back in another body?
That could be possible, yes.
If do I need to be a good person or something?
Do you need to be a good person in order to come back in another body?
Yes.
That's a question that I can't answer.
Okay. Because that would be kind of along the lines of Buddhism, where that if you have not interrupted dharma in any way, your karma is good, then you get reincarnated to a higher thing until you ultimately become a part of the divine, which is basically nothing. The divine
which is absolutely nothing?
Yeah, it's kind of, in a nutshell, that's it.
Yeah, oh, well.
Yeah.
That's somebody's opinion.
Yeah. Now, do you believe, Tony, as a witch, that we have some form of divinity in us?
Everything on Earth and in this universe has divinity in them, yes.
And okay, so I am a little god?
Most certainly. You're a creation of the aspect of the god and the goddess, aren't you?
Well, I have to confess, I don't feel much like a god.
Well, then you're going to pay your karma back, or your dharma, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay. Tony,
but that's yours to deal with. That's not anything that I have to worry about.
Tony, do you try to convert people to your way of thinking?
You know what? Actually, I don't.
How come?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I don't need to convert people.
Okay, why not?
My spiritual path is my spiritual path. It's what I believe. I don't need to sell anybody on what I believe, because that's what's within me. Have you ever heard the expressions, the spirituality is the essence of who we all are as human beings?
No.
You haven't heard that. Well, yeah, really.
Okay, so let me ask you kind of a far out question.
Okay.
Can I create my own spiritual path, and that makes it true?
Yeah, actually it does.
All right. I'm going to be kind of wacky with this, all right, just to try to see.
You're already sounding pretty wacky.
Well, I would imagine so. If I believe...
Let me ask you something. What are your call letters, and what is your radio station about?
Or a Christian radio program.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I can deal with this.
Yeah. So I'm trying to understand the way you think, though. It sounds kind of postmodern-y to me, Tony.
Is that a problem?
I disagree with it. I don't believe that as a human being
I can... That's your opinion to disagree with it.
Yeah. No,
and you know what?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things about your beliefs that I disagree with as well.
Oh, I'd love to hear. What do you disagree with?
In order to turn around and in order to be enlightened by or find Jesus, you have to go about and you have to convert so many people, and you have to turn around and you have to spread the word of God.
I don't think that's the way it works, actually.
That's the way it seems to work with a lot of people.
Yeah, well, no, the response to the kindness that God has shown to us, we desire for others to know the truth. See, the difference, I think, maybe fundamentally, well, there's a lot of fundamental differences between the two of us. You believe that you can create a spiritual path, and as long as you believe it, therefore it is your truth. I believe that there is simply truth. You are either right or you are wrong, and we will discover what that truth is ultimately when we all die. See, I can believe that I'm going to spend eternity in a watermelon patch eating refrigerator-cold watermelon, just the center part where there's no seeds, not the white part of it. And, if I just say Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown 3 times before I die, I'm going to spend eternity in a watermelon patch. It's either true or it isn't, and the intensity of my belief will not make it so.
Well, you know what? That's what you believe. That's what you want, and that's what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
That's all well and good.